Hi, this is Brother Mark with Everlasting Outdoors, and we're here today once again in the outskirts, I guess you could say the outskirts of Lake Cumberland, Kentucky. And I want to show you a few things about the T-Bar Snare today, and I hope you enjoy it. Hi. Listen, what we're going to do on the T-Bar is a little bit different than some of the other T-Bar demonstrations that I've saw. Basically, on a T-Bar Snare, you want to find a pathway where an animal's traveling that you're going to be trapping. Now, I want to remind you, this is not legal out of trapping season, depending on what state you live in. So you might want to check the trapping regulations in your state. But what you'll want to do, if you're going to, first of all, you're going to want to find a well-traveled trail where animals are traveling, and then that's where you're going to want to set a stick on each side of the trail. Okay. But in some of the other demonstrations that I saw, T-Bar demonstrations, you usually have to cut a notch in this stick and this stick, and in your T-Bar stick, you cut a notch and notch these together, and then maybe put a notch on a trigger that would notch on your T-Bar, and your string will tie from a tree. Your snare, in other words, would tie from a tree, string, wire, whatever it is, would tie to a tree and come down and pressure the trigger stick. Well, what we've decided to do is simplify this method quite a bit. We're going to eliminate the trigger. This is the T-Bar stick. We're going to, and the fourth stick that would be included, we're going to eliminate that stick completely, and we're not going to cut notches on these. I have found one of the most frustrating, I guess, primitive traps that you could build, in my opinion, is the figure 4. And the reason why for me is it requires so many notches to be cut and so much work to be performed on the trigger. So to eliminate that, cuts down on your time that you have and the effort that has to go into building the trap, and therefore making your time more efficient for you, which is a very important thing if you're in the wilderness and working on any kind of survival. So this right here is our T-Bar stick. These are our side posts, and we're not going to cut notches in these. We're not going to cut any notches. And we're not going to have a trigger stick, so stick around and I'll show you. Hi, this is Brother Mark with Everlasting Outdoors again. At the beginning of the video today, I told you we were going to do a demonstration on a T-Bar snare. Now, the T-Bar snare is a spring-loaded snare, which is loaded by a tree up above with the spring action of a tree limb or a tree, a small sapling. But we have a different idea about how to build a T-Bar that I think will work perfectly fine and will cut down on a lot of the effort that it takes to build a standard T-Bar. Normally, you would have the two side posts that you would drive into the ground right on each side of a well-traveled animal trail. And you would have to cut notches in these sticks, cut notches in your cross stick here that goes across, and then you would actually have a trigger stick which would go here and have a notch in it that your string is tied to, and your snare would be in this area. We have eliminated the trigger stick. We have eliminated the notches here, the notches here, the notch here. There's no notches to cut. You basically have 3 sticks and a spring-loaded tree. And we want to demonstrate this to you, so stick around. All right, as you can see here, we have a demonstration snare set up. And the reason I say demonstration, we probably wouldn't use this big a rope if it was our decision to. If this is all we had and we had nothing else to catch an animal in, hey, you know, this will work. But we would prefer a thinner wire or maybe a string of nylon or something. But anyway, we're just using this as a demonstration. I have a little excess rope here, so I'm not going to go into knot tying or any of that stuff. I just simply want to show you how this works. There's a trail here, animal trail. As you can see, I have my snare stretched here in the middle. Well, what I have here is actually a notch on this sidebar and a notch on the opposite side of this sidebar, this thing here. These are natural notches. These are not notches that I cut. These are branch notches where a branch was. All I done was cut the branch off and left a little notch there. And I have one on this side, one on this side. So if the animal comes in from this way, he's going to take the notch off of this side, take the crossbar off of this side. If he comes from the opposite direction, he's going to take it off from this side, therefore creating the snare and end up trapping. We'll show you how this works kind of. When an animal comes through, as he walks through, and this snare just kind of tightens up on him, which I have a lot there and I can't reach, as it tightens up on him, he will, as it tightens up on him, it will break loose the snares. therefore tripping him up. As you can see, that was a little hard to break loose. This can be adjusted by these sidebars. If I want to tilt that sidebar that way some, tilt this one this way some, I could actually adjust that, or the opposite. I can adjust the sensitivity of the trap. So basically, here's what we have. Let me show you. On our sidebars right here, you can see this is a little notch. It's a natural style notch, and this is on one side of the trail for our T-bar to cross to catch in, and then we have the opposite notch turned over on this side for the T-bar to catch in. So that's basically how it works. These drive in the ground, T-bar comes across, snare ties directly to that. No trigger stick or anything. So hopefully that'll help you when you go out into the wild. If you decide to do any primitive trapping, then hopefully this. We went through the demonstration of the T-bar snare. Now, my whole point with this is this. As I told you at the beginning of the demonstration, you want to look for a well-traveled path, something that where an animal has been traveling. There's a reason for that, because if there's an animal traveling down a path, that's where you want to set your trap for obvious reasons that you're going to catch him. Okay. Now, in 1 Timothy 6:9 in the Bible tells us that the devil also sets snares for us in life. And he will set a snare for you. But listen, the devil knows the paths of life that you travel. The devil knows what's in your path. He knows exactly where to set those snares. And you know, just like that snare that I set, when that animal comes through that snare and it tightens down on his neck, it doesn't come loose. It gets tighter. The more he pulls, the tighter it gets. Now, doesn't it make you wonder why the Bible would use such a illustration of a snare? This is a common trap used in biblical days. So the writer of this was trying to describe something to the reader. And he was trying to describe something. He was talking about the riches of this world and the temptations of this world, that if you follow them, then you could get into a snare of the devil. A snare, a trap that's laid out for you, that's set ahead in the pathway of life for you to walk into. So, the conclusion of this story is, what path are you traveling on? Are you traveling on a path that you know there's a snare set in? Listen to me. We have decisions, and we all have a choice. And we need to make sure that we make the right decisions and the right choice. And we don't travel down the path that we know we shouldn't. I'm not going to sit here and go through what path that could be. I mean, we could be here all day talking about the temptations of this world. You know what tempts you, but guess what? So does Satan. He's been around for thousands of years now, and he knows what commonly haunts you. He knows what commonly tempts you. He knows what will draw you away from God. And he will do that and trap you and snare you in it if you allow him to. This is Brother Mark with Everlasting Outdoors. Hope you've enjoyed our demonstration of the T-bar snare today. Check back with us, and hopefully you can go to our website, www.everlastingoutdoors.com. All right, thank you.